you think that it's right for the Antifa people to dress in black, arm up with guns, knives and wood and sticks, whatever they're doing, and go and attack a group of white men and women who are standing up for America? Are you an Antifa person?
I don't really go out and do that type of stuff, but I support them.
Why don't you do it?
Generally just because I'm just busy. There's not much of it.
You're too busy to go and attack other white people who are standing up for America?
I just don't do it. So.
Why not?
I just don't.
Is it wrong?
No, I don't think it's wrong.
You don't think it's wrong to hide your face as a coward and go and attack people who are not hiding?
No, I don't.
Do you know right from wrong?
Yeah.
Amazing. Are you dating a Mexican?
No.
Oh. Is she black?
No.
Is she white?
No.
What is she?
She is Pakistani.
What?
Yeah.
Allah Abba folks?
Yes.
You are dating an enemy?
Yeah.
Wake up, man.
So, for example, I live down in
wake up before it's too late. What's a man?
It's just a label.
What?
It's just a label.
A man is just a label?
Yeah.
What's a woman?
It's just another label. It's a socially useful one, but it doesn't mean that much.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a difference between men and women?
There's biological. There's biological.
Other than the body parts and the biological things. Is there a difference between men and women?
Like psychologically?
Is there any difference?
I would say, psychologically, not really.
Not really?
No.
So do you sometimes feel like a man and sometimes like a woman?
I don't really think that way. So I don't
Why
know.
do you think there is no difference?
Just because I don't really see a reason to believe that there is. Again, speaking like psychologically here.
Are you emotional like a woman?
No.
Are you illogical like a woman?
I don't think women are particularly illogical.
Are you like them though? They're like that?
I'm like them to the extent I'm like any other person.
Do you feel sensitive at times?
I think we all do, Jesse.
How about you?
Yeah.
Beta male.
Look, Jesse, everyone's a beta in a car crash, okay?
What?
Everybody's a beta in a car crash.
Evidently. So let me ask, are you in favor of a big, beautiful wall going up around the border?
No.
You're not? Why not?
It's a waste of money.
Really? So which is cheaper, to put a wall up and stop the flow, or to let the flow come in and take care of them forever?
It's actually probably cheaper to just let people come in.
Free home, free medicine, free everything.
Well, so a friend of mine who is an immigration attorney brought up this statistic that kind of blew me away, that as of right now with the concentration camps that we have going on, it would actually be cheaper to put a lot of those, the immigrant concentration camps.
Those are not concentration camps.
Okay. It would actually be cheaper. It would actually literally be cheaper to put them into a Best Western.
Just FYI, no one forced those people there. They came on their
They did force them into camps, though, Jesse.
Right, but they came on their own. We didn't go get them and put them in the camp.
We seem to be concentrating a lot of people in a camp-like structure. And as my friend had brought up to me,
would they be in the camp-like structure had they not come to America?
They wouldn't. No, I guess not.
Okay, then.
But I still think it's bad.
I rest my case.
I still think it's bad.
So you should just let your enemies into your country.
I don't see them as our enemies, no. But just before I lose this point, yeah, a friend of mine brought this up to me. It's actually cheaper. It would actually be cheaper to house families in like a Best Western or a Travelodge than it is to have these concentration camps.
Is your friend a Marxist?
No.
He's a socialist?
No.
He's a girl?
No.
Is he beta?
I wouldn't say he's beta.
Don't ever use it. He says he's a lawyer?
Yeah.
Don't ever hire, well, you're not going to hire him anyway, but don't use him in a case you'll lose. What do you think about, are you a fan of ICE?
No.
And why not?
I think it's a pretty, sinister institution in these places where we seem to be concentrating a number of people that aren't concentration camps, but is concentrating a very specific group of people. We've already had dozens of cases come out of ICE officials and ICE agents raping people in the camps, and I think that's bad.
But that's not our fault. It's not bad, and it's not our fault.
It is. We literally pay for it.
They brought themselves through the country
So you
They
think it's
shouldn't
good for the
arrest-
U.S. government to be paying for people to be raped?
No, the U.S. government would be good to put the wall up and let them go back home and deal with their own issues.
So I live in San Diego. And as I brought up, the actual...
Are you dating a Mexican?
No.
Oh. Is she black?
No.
Is she white?
No.
What is she?
She is who she is.
What is she?
She is Pakistani.
What?
Yeah.
Allah Abba folks?
Yes, yes.
You were dating the enemy?
Yeah.
You smoke pot?
Occasionally. Rarely.
Oh,
Not as much anymore.
get off the pot, man.
Uh,
You smoke. You're about to marry the enemy. No wonder.
okay.
Is she
Anyway.
older than you?
No.
Oh,
Anyway.
wake up, man.
So, for example, I
Hey,
live down
wake
in
up before it's too late.
I live down in San Diego. So as I already brought up, the majority of people who come here illegally, they just overstay their visas.
That's not true.
It is true.
No.
They fly in planes.
That's not true at
Now,
all.
here's the other thing to know, Jesse. The cartels,
Uh-huh.
they use tunnels.
Right.
A wall can only go so far into the ground.
No, we
you
can
can
deal with
just
the tunnels,
keep
too.
digging deeper.
That's not a reason not to build a wall.
It's a perfectly good reason not to build a wall.
So is part of the reason you're not for a wall because you're dating Allah Abba's daughter?
No.
Oh.
I was against it before that.
What made you decide to date this woman rather than a white woman?
I liked her and her personality.
You can find one white woman you like personality.
No, I hate them all, Jesse.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, it just disgusts me.
Amazing. So illegal aliens are coming into the country, and they are hurting the whole country, period, overall. But they're hurting black people first and foremost when it comes to employment, health care, living conditions, because they're running a lot of blacks out of their own communities. They are bringing in drugs and crimes and things like that, things like that into the black community. Does that bother you at all? Do you care about that blacks are being hurt first and foremost as a result of illegal aliens coming in?
I mean, yeah, it always bothers me if any group is being harmed from anything.
Then why
But
not
as we talked
support
about-
the black citizens
But as
first
we talked
over
about-
the illegal aliens?
But as we talked about earlier, and you seem to agree with me, that one thing that would actually help this situation, generally speaking, is to stop meddling around in Latin American countries, causing dictatorships
But
to
that
pop
doesn't
up.
have anything to put a wall up around the borders.
Well,
To
we,
protect
so for
the
example,
American citizen first.
For example, if
so
we
I want to
weren't
go back to
destabling-
that
if-
first.
if we
I
weren't
don't want you to forget your point, but I want to ask if it does bother you that blacks are being hurt first and foremost. Why not? And they're American citizens. Why not put them before the illegals?
Well, I don't think it's a matter of putting them first, or I don't think it's a matter of putting one first above the other.
You don't think the black American citizens should be before the illegal alien Mexicans?
I mean, generally speaking, so I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about like jobs and things like that.
The whole, everything I just named and more.
So I mean, I think there are all kinds of steps that we can do to, create jobs for the
But
black
should
community
the
and
blacks
things like
be
that.
considered first over the illegal aliens?
I mean, I think Americans probably should be
How about the
considered
black
first, but-
citizens? Should they get first consideration before allowing the illegal aliens
Well, I'm
to,
not like
to
I'm
just
not
walk
really.
in?
I'm not sure how it's again one or the other type of situation.
Meaning what?
Like you keep saying we should put them first and foremost above everything, and I'm not sure.
Before
not sure- I'm
illegal
not sure
aliens,
the-
above the illegal aliens.
Well, for example, here, just because I don't want to forget this point.
Okay.
When we were talking about Honduras earlier, again, we destabilized that country.
Right.
We authorized a military coup under the
Okay.
Obama administration. When we cause that kind of destabilization, and we've done this this goes back decades in Latin America. When we cause that kind of destabilization, where people do have to feel the need to run away from their homeland, that's on
But that's
us.
not why they're running away.
For a lot of them, it is.
They're being enticed to come here by the enemies of America. The Americans,
Do you know who Elliot
the
Abrams is?
Democrat representative and all of them. So they're being enticed. They're told to come here, you get free stuff, everything taken care of. We'll take care of you, and they're doing it for the votes, not because they care about the illegal aliens. Would you agree to that?
No, I wouldn't. But
Why not?
do you know who Elliot Abrams is?
No.
Elliot Abrams, I believe right now, is Trump's he's like leading the task force on Venezuela, trying to organize the coup attempt in Venezuela. Elliot Abrams first came in, I believe, in the Reagan administration. And what his job was during the times we were funding death squads in El Salvador and Guatemala. And what Elliot Abrams' job was to cover those up and make sure the American public didn't know about them.
What's your point?
He was convicted. My point is, we've
I
been
don't
for
know about
decades.
that, so I can't comment on that, but what's your point?
So my point is, we've been for decades destabilizing this region.
So should we
those
do
death
wrong?
squads? Those death squads.
Was that wrong to do?
Yes.
If that happened, was that wrong?
I think that's wrong.
So should we do wrong just because Elliot Abrams did wrong?
I think it's so I don't think it's doing wrong to take care of these people in the places that we.
But you can't take care of them. You don't even believe in working.
We're going to take care of them just fine, Jesse. See,
What?
here's the thing.
So what?
Here's the thing, though,
What
Jesse.
did you just say?
We can take care of them just fine.
How? You don't have a job?
I do have a job, Jesse.
A full-time job?
Yeah.
Will you babysit?
No, well, I'm a contractor, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What on? Are you a white supremacist?
No.
And why do you say no?
Because I'm not.
Do you know that
I'm not a supremacist of any kind.
Do you know that are you a nationalist?
No.
Do you know that you are deemed, because you're a white male, to be a white supremacist?
I'm not, but, you know.
But you know they think that of you, right?
Who?
People of color, Elliot, Omar, and all the people who are going against white males right now.
Really? And
Did you notice that white males are under attack?
No, I seem to be doing pretty fine.
You think that white males are doing pretty fine?
Well, speaking as one of them. I mean, car crash aside, obviously.
Are you against white supremacists?
Yes, I think they're bad.
So
I think all supremacists are bad.
So would a nationalist a white nationalist be considered a white supremacist?
Yeah, generally. They all kind of float in the same stew, so.
So you as a white male, are you American citizen?
Yes.
So you as a white male who's hated because you're white are supporting the people who go after other white guys who love their country.
Well, it's again, just speaking as a member of,
It's like supporting
speaking on
your whole-
behalf of all white men, Jesse, I don't really feel the hatred out there. I don't really see where this narrative comes from.
So that's why you call it.
What it sounds like is it sounds like a Twitter thing.
So that's why you call yourself a socialist, because you're scared that if you admit who you are, they might go after you?
No. I'm a socialist because I'm a socialist.
Why would a white person be
socialist because I'm a Marxist, I should say.
Why would a white person be considered a supremacist if they call themselves a nationalist?
Generally speaking, because when people try to frame things as white nationalism, they are trying to create some kind of ethnically homogenous state for themselves.
How do you know that?
Well, you know, you look at people like Richard Spencer, for example, who that is literally what his goal is.
So is it wrong to create a separate country for yourself if you can't get along with others who hate you?
I think it's generally a bad thing. I think ethno-states are bad, yeah.
And why, if someone hates you, don't want to associate with you, what's wrong with creating a quiet space
Because
for
it
yourself?
never works out that way.
Why not?
So, for example, would you consider, like, Germans to be white?
They look white to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. They just kind of, you know, you look at them and you're like, oh, they're white.
Yeah.
When Germans were coming over here in like the 1800s, they were not considered white.
Right.
Neither were Italians or Irish.
Right.
They were brought into whiteness over decades. or
Over
whatever.
here.
Yeah, here in America.
So they were brought into a white country, founded and created by white people, and they were considered white?
No, they were not considered white when they first came here.
What were they considered?
They were, you know, people thought like Italians were like some weird, like different race.
How
from white
about the
people.
Germans?
Same with the Germans.
And who rejected them? Other white people?
Yeah.
Oh, and your point is what?
My point is that when you do, say, for example, try to create like a white nationalist ethno-state,
Right.
Eventually what's going to happen over time is if you obsess over what that definition of white is, then you start getting into weird genetics of, well, this person's actually like 50% German or, you know, 5% Czech, and you'll start to see a fracturing and splintering from within.
And
I think that's true of any kind of,
so you don't
nationalist
support
ethno-state project.
you don't support a white person who is a nationalist.
No.
Do you support a black person who is a nationalist?
No, like I said earlier, I don't really support any nationalist projects.
So what do you think of black supremacists?
Again, I don't support any supremacists, so I would think they're bad. So.
In what way?
Because I think, racial supremacy is a bad thing.
Do you love Jews?
No, just as much as anybody else.
How about Jews? Do you love them?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Do you love Jews?
Yeah.
You love blacks?
Yeah.
You love whites?
Yeah, all right.
You don't like the whites?
Too many of them.
Are you joking or serious?
I'm joking. Yes.
Oh, okay. How about Antifa? Do you agree with me that they should be labeled as a terrorist organization?
No, I don't think anti-fascists are a terrorist organization. I think they are, they're naturally what happens when you start seeing neo-Nazi projects rise up again.
But they are worse than the people that they are fighting against, because the whites who are showing up at these rallies, they're not hiding their faces. Mm-hmm. They're standing up for America. They don't go there with weapons with the intent to take your freedom away, to prevent you from standing up. And yet Antifa,
in Charlottesville,
Antifa is such an evil group of people. They have to hide their faces because they know that they're wrong, and they deliberately arm up with fake weapons and go and attack people. Is that right for them to do that to them?
I think for the anti-fascists, it's a perfectly valid tactic. Again, looking at what happened in Charlottesville,
so you think it's right for
in Charlottesville they literally killed a woman who was protesting her, showing her face.
You think that is right for Antifa?
Tried to kill others too.
You think that is right for the Antifa people to dress in black, arm up with guns, knives and wood and sticks, whatever they're doing, and go and attack a group of white men and women who are standing up for America?
Well, they're not just standing up for America, though.
But
Antifa, in Charlottesville, they killed a person
standing up for America by trying to take away the freedom of other people to protest?
I think killing a person is, by definition, taking away their freedom to the maximum extent possible.
Is Antifa doing that too?
Not that I know of. I don't know of any anti-fascist.
Are you an Antifa person?
I don't really go out and do that type of stuff, but I support them.
Why don't you do it?
Generally, just because I don't. I'm just busy. There's not much of it.
You're too busy to go and attack other white people who are standing up for America?
I just don't do it. So.
Why not?
I just don't.
Is it wrong?
No, I don't think it's wrong.
You don't think it's wrong to hide your face as a coward and go and attack people who are not hiding?
No, I don't.
Do you know right from wrong?
Yeah.
Amazing. So the president is thinking of labeling them, Antifa, a terrorist group. Are you okay with that?
No, I don't. I think labeling various groups terrorists is going a little too wild right now. For example, I'm not a fan of what some people call terrorist discourse.
But that's what they're doing.
In the sense that I don't think it's a good thing that we can just label certain organizations as terrorist and then utilize the arm of the state to disperse them.
But they're clearly a terrorist, evil group of people.
I don't think so.
Spoil young white kids with money and they don't have to go to work.
Oh, well, if you say so, but I think they're good, actually.
What are they standing for?
They're standing against fascism. It's in the name.
Well, they're not one of the fascist people.
No,
Are they standing against their own self-interest?
Well, I think the conversation would be a little bit different had they not killed a person in Charlottesville and tried to kill others. Speaking of the white supremacists and nationalists and Nazis and all that. But after they killed a person...
Are you talking about that stupid woman that drove into the Antifa?
No, a man drove into her and tried to run her over and several other people and successfully killed her.
But he was allegedly trying to get away from Antifa.
No, he wasn't.
He was fighting for his own life.
He admitted that he was trying to kill them.
Amazing. Would you support terrorism or Antifa?
I support anti-fascism. I don't support terrorism.
But it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Why do you think that the liberal left media don't report Antifa as to who they really are and what they're doing? Instead, they support the men and women on the right side stand up for America. Why do they not support
I think
report
the media,
Antifa?
I mean, I think the mainstream media is just trash in general. So I'm right there with you on that one, that the mainstream media just sucks.
They should report Antifa too.
I wish they would support more international stories and more in depth.
How about Antifa?
I think it would be kind of a waste of time, but
Are you a beta male or alpha male?
I think you already called me a beta.
And what do you call
You're
yourself?
reusing material, Jesse.
What do you call yourself?
I don't really call myself anything.
So you're just nothing?
I am nothing, Jesse.